I believe before we learn anything new, there's three very important questions we must answer. What, why, and how. So let's start by answering the question, what is stress? So I've spoken to a lot of people on this topic, including family, friends, and clients. And whenever I ask them this question, what is causing them stress, it is usually one of these reasons. Number one, money. They do not seem to have enough. Surprisingly, some of them earn £1,000 a month, while others earn £10,000 a month. They still both have the same problem. Number two, job or career. They are not happy with their job or business. Number three, relationships. They are not happy with their relationships in life. This could be with their partners, siblings, parents, or children. Number four, time. This is one thing that gets many people. They never have enough time to do it all. Number five, future. This is the most interesting one. I know a lot of people who have everything but are worried that they will not have it in the future. I call it the what if curse. What if the economy is doomed? What if people stop buying my products? What if I lose my job, etc.? You get the point. What if I told you that all these reasons or any other reason why you feel stress is only due to this one thing? You have created an expectation of how things and people should be, and things and people are not as per those expectations. To understand what stress does to our body, let's go on a time travel. Imagine a time thousands of years ago when we still used to live in jungles. You're walking through the woods and suddenly you see a tiger approaching you. The body triggers a stress response and stops doing whatever it's supposed to do to respond to this life or death situation. The brain releases adrenaline and cortisol, also known as stress hormones. These are responsible for causing a lot of nuisances in our body, such as insomnia and premature aging. Your heart rate would go up rapidly to move blood through the body. Blood vessels restrict to allow quicker blood movement, which as a result will increase the blood pressure. Blood sugar and blood lipids increase, so there is more energy to move. Circulation to your gut decreases because digestion is now a priority when you're being chased by a tiger. Immune function drops rapidly as the body needs energy to fight or flee the situation. Stress response is actually a healthy and normal function of the body. And it would be very useful if you are actually being chased by a tiger. The problem is, today we give too much importance to everyday activities. So our nervous system cannot distinguish between being chased by a tiger or being stuck in a traffic jam. According to research, 90% of the total doctor visits are related to problems caused by stress. In the world today, most of us are not living our true potentials as our body is using all the energy to be ready for a fight or flee situation. This in the long run causes health problems and lower energy levels. Now that we discussed that what stress is and why we should learn to manage it, I'm going to introduce you to two simple models that if you adopt in your life, you will never feel stressed again. The first model is good thing, bad thing, who knows. To explain this model better, let me share a story with you. Once upon a time, there lived a farmer with his son in a tiny village. The father and son did not have many material possessions. They lived happily and in content. The villagers soon started to envy them and were always curious to find out the reason for their happiness. One day, the farmer decided to use all his life savings to buy a horse. Unfortunately, the very next day, the horse managed to escape and run into the hills. The villagers visited the farmer to express their sympathy. They remarked, "What happened is really unfortunate. You spent all your life savings to buy that horse, and now you don't even have the horse." To which the farmer replied, "Good thing, bad thing, who knows?" A few days later, the farmer and his son were looking for their horse in the woods. They found their horse, and with their horse, they found another 5 wild horses. Now they managed to get all the horses back to the stable. The villagers came to visit again. This time they said, "How fortunate you are. You lost 1 horse but got 6 in return." But the farmer's reply was still the same. "Good thing, bad thing, who knows?" After a few days, the farmer's son fell from one of the horses and broke his leg. Even though his leg healed in some time, the injury left him with a permanent limp. The villagers came to visit again. This time they said, "What happened is really bad. You only had one person in your family. Who's going to help you in the fields now?" But the farmer's reply remained the same. Good thing, bad thing, who knows? Soon after that, a war broke out. It was required for all the young men to join the army. However, the farmer's son was spared due to his limp. The villagers once again came to visit. This time they said, "You are so fortunate. At least you get to stay with your son. We are not even sure whether our sons will ever return home." But the farmer's reply remained the same. Good thing, bad thing, who knows? And this continues. The moral of the story is that stress is a choice. If we stop labeling things as good or bad, chances are that we'll start choosing happiness over stress. Have you ever observed that a past occurrence that had seemed bad at that time turned out to be a good thing, or at least not so bad thing when you're looking back at it? What has happened and cannot be changed. You can either label it as bad and increase your suffering, or you can move forward and let it go by saying, good thing, bad thing, who knows? There's something else that happens when you start living by this approach. Our brain is designed to look and find what we're looking for. So once we've labeled something as bad, we will find all the reasons why it's bad. But once we start creating from that possibility that it could be good or bad, we'll start finding possibilities of turning that thing into something good. The second model is where you focus on your actions and not the result. Imagine a time when we used to live in the wild. A hunter is trying to shoot a deer with his bow and arrow. The hunter is very skillful and has never missed a target before. Does this guarantee that the hunter will be able to get his goal this time? No, not at all. The hunter has command on his bow and his arrow. The hunter has command on his focus. But the hunter has no power or control on the deer, who can sense the danger at the very last minute and move. Life works in a very similar way. In life, there are things we can control, and then there are things we cannot. Most of the time, things do not happen as planned because of the reasons beyond our control. It is therefore important not to focus too much on the outcome. Instead, put all your focus on your efforts. Do not celebrate your results. Celebrate your actions. It may take some time to train your brain to adopt these models. But once you do, I guarantee you, you will never feel stressed again.